Welcome in this new training. My name is Julian Paul. I am the founder of Elite Chef Academy, and today I'd like to go over our private chef incubator, or how to start and scale your own private chef business to create a life of freedom, impact, and 20K a month in 90 days or less. But before we start, I'd like to share with you some recent case studies that we had inside of the academy, which, by the way, you can just go back to our thank you page and watch all those case studies right in the videos. But recently we had Rene that went from being a sushi chef and cook every single day the same thing to work for people that were so wealthy, that make so much money that he has hundreds, if not thousands of dollars every single week of food budget, not being limited in cost for what you're going to cook, not being limited to just clients' restrictions or a menu that tells you, okay, this is what our brand is offering, this is what our people come to eat. You just do whatever you want because we have the budget, but on top of this, we're just food enthusiasts and we like you to make us discover your talent. We had also Nikia that after not even a week inside of the academy is signing her first full-time clients. We have also examples like Brody that went from working 70 to 80 hours a week to have the chance to travel all around the world, making over 10 grand a month, flying out or being flew out by his clients to South America to work with them. We have the example also of James that will finally quit his full-time job and have the freedom to work no longer that 30 to 40 hours every single week, so he can actually spend more time with his little son Jonas. So we have a lot of case studies. We had a lot of people that are every single day proving that they can actually create this life of freedom, of impact, and financial freedom with their own private chef business. And if you've been in the industry for a few years, you know that the time and the energy that you pour into your work aren't giving you this actual freedom, impact, or income that you truly feel like you deserve. Much less those 20K a month and a business that you can actually control. You might have tried to solve your problem, but nothing really seemed to work. Maybe you're a sous chef or a head chef, or you call yourself being an experienced chef. You've done some catering gigs, or you even have tried to open your own restaurant. You know that marketing, advertisement, and social media are really important. And it's even possible that you try to implement some of the strategies, but without any success yet. And you profoundly know that cooking alone won't be enough. We literally see amateurs online with no real skills and somehow they make it work. And the reason why they make it work, it's because they've learned a very powerful skill set. And this skill set is called generating attention. But more importantly, how to transform this attention into high-paying clients. And just before we even get into how I build a skill and what this skill allowed me to achieve in my personal life, I just want to I just want to call something out. Guys, in this industry, which is the private chef industry, which is not doing catering, okay? Which is not doing some personal chef type of stuff, working with 50 clients at the same time. Well, we'll go into details about why this is the worst thing that you can actually do. Working as a private chef for only one or even two families in the United States, and I encourage you to go on Google and type this. There are over 35 million of millionaires right now in 2024. Okay, I think that this grow from 20 or 30% from 2023 to 2024. Okay, so let's say that and we won't go into some deep math, right? Let's say if there's only 10% of those 35 millions of millionaires that are interested in your services. That means there are 3 millions of people only in the United States that can actually afford your services, that will be willing and have the mean to pay you and to hire you full time for 10, 15, 20 grand a month every single month without having to work 50 or 60 hours every single week. 3 millions of people. Again, I encourage you to do some research. Right now in the United States, there is less than 10,000 private chef businesses in total, approximately 6,500. So there's literally 6,500 businesses that have 3 million of potential clients. Okay? If you told me like there was like, I don't know, like 100,000 like millionaires, I'll be like, okay, 6,000 businesses, 100,000 millionaires, that, still a gap, but that's not 3 millions, 6,000 businesses. Okay? So there's way than enough people to actually pay you what you're looking for to afford a life and have the freedom that you want for yourself and your family. Now, it's about where to find those people, how to attract them by learning how to actually generate attention and transform this attention into high-paying clients. To give you a little bit of background, having this skill allowed me to go from being look like a happy but broke cook to not even 21 years old, traveling all around the world, being flied out by my private clients, not having to pay anything, no gas, no transportation, no food, no rent. I make up to $5,000 every single week, pocket money, literally. Being able to fly and live in Mexico and turn professional, which was a dream of mine since I was a kid. I retired, I left boxing as soon as I got into cooking at 16 years old. And I had to come back at like 21-ish when I was finally able to work for myself and have my own private chef business because I was not working 70 or 80 hours a week anymore. Being able to have this level of financial freedom where I can actually finally fly in business class for a 10 or 12 hours flight instead of flying in economy. Maybe you never had a chance to do this. Well, when you will, you'll understand how much of a difference it makes. I will never fly economic again anymore. Having the chance to take my grandma on vacation and not being like, oh, it's going to be a 48 hours vacation because Monday morning I start a shift at 8 a.m. and then I work until midnight. It's like real vacation where we have, again, the time, the freedom, and the money to do whatever we want because we're free. Having the time to build the best chef of my life because, again, I can, if I can zoom out right now, take care of myself and going to the gym 1-2 times a day, 5, 6, 7 times a week if I want to. I had a conversation with somebody else the other day. It's like, why do you want to go into private chefing? He was like, dude, because I'd like to have time to do my laundry. I'd like to have time to not let my cat away alone 13 hours a day. I like not to end up myself being alone all my life. I like to have a girlfriend again. And maybe not a girlfriend that, or a boyfriend, whatever your gender, right? That is not in the industry, right? Because I take the example of my girlfriend. She's not in the industry. Like, what do you do with somebody that has like a normal 9 to 5 when you come back at home is like 1 a.m. Like they're sleeping? What to tell you when you're working on Saturday, you're working on Sunday, you don't have vacations. You're working 15 hours a day. Coming back at night, you're sleeping 5 hours, you get back to work. This is not sustainable. So it's far from just being about the money, but again, about the level of freedom that it gives and the impact that you are actually able to provide and to offer when you work with this type of people. So why should you leverage this as soon as possible? For the past 8 years, since I've started my first private chef business, I've studied my own success and that of my clients, and I've noticed one process consistently leading to transformation. This process has helped us break free from being slaves to the kitchen and create lives of freedom, impact, and fulfillment. We now cook beautiful meals on our terms without worrying about every penny because we work with some of the wealthiest people on the planet. I am building a clear plan of action for you. Think of this like a recipe. Like if I ask my apprentice to prepare lobster sauce tomorrow, but he's never done it, he'll most likely feel lost, unsure of where to start. But with a clear step-by-step action plan to follow and the right execution, he might not get it perfect the first or even the second time, but by the third attempt, he'll nail it. And that's the same for you right here. And finally, accountability. Having a plan to stick to is amazing, but having someone else who has already gone through this plan with dozens of other people hold your hand throughout the entire process is even better. You need to have a processes in place and humans daily for each action you take to stay on track and avoid mistakes that could cost you a lot of time, a lot of energy, and lose a lot of money. Now you want to understand why you need to pull this off. And there's 3 components of the system in total. The first one is called a brand identity. Become a unique superstar. You already mastered the most important skill, which is cooking. Now you want to get yourself in front of the right people who are naturally attracted by who you are. This ultimately creates the perfect match between cooking what you truly feel aligned with, not again being limited by a restaurant's guidelines, by a restaurant's menu, by the budget of your clients. You want to work and attract the ideal type of customer who will naturally love your food and won't bother about specific diet restrictions or budget limitations. When you look at those brands, there's 2 things that you can think about. The first one is they charge infinitely more than the items that they actually sell, that what they actually pay to use those products. When you go into Rolex, the materials that it costs to create the watch isn't near how much they actually sell it. The only reason why a Rolex is worth the price of a Rolex, which is at least like 10 grand, up to millions, it's because of the perceived value. Not because of how good is the watch. Like a Casio watch is worth $50, might last as long as a Rolex will, or even longer. That's the first thing. You can actually charge much more than what it truly costs in terms of the quality of the product, the quality of your food. Not saying that you're going to sell something bad quality, because this isn't the case of those people. Like, they are not bad quality products, but they are not the best quality products on earth neither. Okay? So that's the first thing you think about. The second thing you think about those brands, forgive my French, but to tell fuck you to every other person that is not their ideal client. And I'd like to give you an example for that. Taking, again, to the top 0.1% of luxury brands. When you walk into a Lamborghini dealership and ask the salesman, why should I buy a Lambo instead of a Ferrari? The salesman won't sell you on features. He won't say, oh, you should buy from us because of this, you should buy it because of that, because, no. Instead, they fill it back to you and say, you tell me, why would you want to buy from us rather than Ferrari? At the end of the day, people don't just buy products. They buy into the person or the brand they actually connect with. People buy from who they love. And that's what you actually want to build by becoming a unique superstar and by building your own personal brand. Making people fall in love with you. So when you propose your services, they genuinely just buy. That's the step number 1. The phase number 2 is called clients and demand. You never want to lack them. In the beginning, I tried finding clients through ad platforms like Google and Facebook. I personally spent thousands of dollars and guess what? No clients. Then I gave those unlimited customer websites like Take a Chef or Miu Miu a shot. Because I was like, okay, now that I spent a lot of money on ads and I cannot figure it out how to find clients for myself, I'll work with quote-unquote professionals. I was flooded with propositions every day, but not a selling one turned into a confirmed booking. And finally, I tried working with private chef agencies, and here's what happened. I literally ended up making less money than if I was working as a chef. I remember I worked like a 2 weeks contract. It was a 2 weeks contract. They made me work so much, and I ended up making like $2,000 for 2 weeks. So I knew that I had to find another way, which was my way. What I realized was simple. These agencies and websites were all generating customers for themselves, not for me. That's when it clicked. I had to learn how to do the same for my business. Which led me to the step number 3, which is called retention. You want to make your clients buy more. Instead of finding more clients, you want to find the same that will buy more from you. And this is where the entire transformation from being a personal chef to a private chef actually happened. Before discovering this strategy, I had plenty of clients. I finally figured out this. But what happened is that it wasn't sustainable. Sure, I wasn't making good money, but I started to lose kind of like the real reason why I became a private chef in the first place, which was freedom and impact. One day, while working for this Chinese family, I actually had a breakthrough. I thought to myself, like, how I can actually turn this weekly contract into a full-time career. And that single question changed everything for me. I went home, crafted an offer that they could not refuse, and by the next day, I was hired full-time. The monthly base was super solid, but what truly mattered was the freedom it gave me, working no more than 5 hours a day, 5 days a week. All nights off, Saturday and Sunday completely off, which this new setup allowed me to spend afternoon exploring the mountains because I love nature, but also taking an extra day off, okay? So like on Friday, for example, because my girlfriend is not working on Saturday and Sunday, so we could just go on vacation with her and with our dog. Or secure more one-off clients to boost my income and grow my business even further when I was looking to make more money at the end of the month. This is when I realized the power of creating a career on my own terms. So that's the end for this training, and this is everything that we'll go over more in depth during our future conversation, during our sessions that you just booked with me. I am super excited to meet you on the call, looking forward to talk to you and see how we can actually help you. I'll see you soon. Peace.